So for my audience, I chose a group of middle school kids because I thought this was a really good topic for them. It's when they're interested in it, it's when they're more likely to go home and tell their parents this sort of thing. So it's geared toward middle school age kids. Hi, my name is Andrea Simulonsky. I'm here to talk to you today about bottled water versus tap water. My question to you is, would you consume something that costs more and is less healthy for you than the alternative? And the answer is, if you were drinking bottled water. Let's find out. So we have a couple of things here. We look at the price, the impact on the environment, and the health and nutrition that you'll find in both sources of water. First, the price. The price of your average tap water is $2 for 1,000 gallons, which is an average household cost for water. It's set by the municipality or MUA that you use, and that cost works out to 0.2 cents for every gallon. If you use a kitchen filter, one of the ones that fits on your tap, you're looking at about 10 cents a gallon, and a tabletop such as a Brita filter, you're looking at about 25 cents a gallon. So there's a range in there that's pretty decent. And then you go to, say, Dasani bottled water, which is what I was able to find, and that's bottled by Coca-Cola. It's filtered tap water, and it will cost you between $1.57 and $8 a gallon to buy Dasani bottled water. So clearly, you're looking at a much higher price for bottled water. In that is also a transportation cost that's going to be transporting it to and from stores and facilities and that sort of thing. Additionally, there's also the cost for packaging. The bottles themselves, the wrap that it's put in, like you buy a case, it's wrapped in shrink wrap plastic or has a cardboard box underneath it. So there's those packaging costs as well. So you've got the price of the bottles, the price of the water, the transportation costs, and the packaging. Okay? Now, the environment, which I just noticed is spelled wrong, my apologies. I looked at a study by the Earth Policy Institute that says that making bottles to meet U.S. demand for bottled water, as it is right now, uses 15 million barrels of oil annually. That is enough to run 100,000 cars for 1 year. So that's a lot of oil. Now, that doesn't include the cost of transporting it, which is normally actually in a diesel truck for the most part, which is subject to less regulation or less strict regulation than your cars or mine. And you might say, well, but I recycle my bottles. You may, but you need to think about only 1 in 6 is actually recycled. If you go to, say you go to Gillette Field and you put your bottle in the recycling, is it really getting recycled? Most businesses, it's extremely difficult to get recycling done. It's not available or it's expensive. So you might think you're putting it in a box that says recycling, but that doesn't mean it's going anywhere except the trash. So only 1 in 6 are recycled. Most of them end up in trash dumps, that sort of thing. And of course there's the ones that you see in the gutter and on grass. And if you've ever been to a sporting event, the number of bottles is mind-boggling that are left at the end. The last thing, using the water. We're using water currently at 15 times the rate that nature replenishes it, which is significant. How long can we possibly keep that up? That's a lot to be using that's not getting replaced. So there's the production impact on the environment, the transportation impact, as well as how much we're using. Health. You might say, well, but I'm drinking bottled water and it's healthier for me. Not necessarily. There's more regulation for the tap water that comes out of your faucet than there is for bottled water. Bottled water is not regulated very well It's becoming a little more so because of the pressure from groups, from interest groups on that front. However, it's not yet in place. Of the tap water that this organization tested, 33% violate the state standards that are set, and 4% are violating federal standards. And that's, federal standards are pretty lax in this area. So mostly what you're finding there is arsenic. And the other thing is your bottled water is not fluoridated. The fluoridation process in water, tap water across this country, has been attributed to a big drop in the number of teeth problems that kids have because they're drinking fluoridated water. And finally, there are health risks involved. Like I said, there are those violations of the standards. Sometimes they're E. coli, sometimes cryptosporidium, different bacteria that are a problem. You can also find in the bottles, they've started to see that some of those bottles are seeping carcinogens into the water that's contained in the bottles. Additionally, when you open the bottle and let air in, it allows bacteria to grow. So the longer you hold onto the bottle, the more likely it is that those things are going to happen, and you could get sick off of those items. So if you look at the price, it costs more to drink bottled water than it does to drink tap water. The environment, you're definitely doing more damage to the environment by using bottled water. And the health, really, there's not a whole lot of difference. So if you are drinking bottled water, you are spending more money for a not as good product, willingly. So you want to think about that the next time you decide to go and when you're going to your soccer game. The best thing to do, an aluminum bottle, tap water. That's where you're going to see the best benefit to everybody. Any questions?